problem हो रहा है.
Oh yeah, we are live now, and I'm really happy because the other side of my screen is someone whom I feel always whenever she talks. No, I can't stop laughing and smiling and being happy. And when you meet happy people, you are always happy, and that's what happens with Poornima. And she is a content creator. She is a film director or filmmaker, and above all, she is a women stand-up comedian. Now, women stand-up is comedian. Very few people we have. Yes, there are people, but I find that not as much as male dominated. I feel it is more a male dominated centric, thing. And is it true? Is that I'm feeling that? We'll find out from Purnima. Hi, Purnima. How are you?
Hi Jyoti, thank you so much for having me over. My honor here to be on your app, Koto app.
Yeah, it's fantastic to have you on Koto app, and it's nice to know that women are exploring different fields. And then, how did this stand-up comedy thing come into you? Because I find very few women. I'm not saying they're not there, but I find it more of a Western culture, which is more in West. I find more stand-up women stand-up comedian than India. What do you think?
No, it's nothing like that. There are equal number of uh, women, or more young girls. Young women are more into stand up, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe not even a handful of middle-aged stand-up comics. Female stand-ups who are doing midlife humor, and I think that's where uh, there is where I have found my space under the sun. And there are plenty of girls who are doing stand-up comedy. It's a very vibrant scene out there, and I think they are rocking the scene. Today is one of the best times to be a woman. I'm talking from, especially from an India-centric point of view. It's one of the best times to
Mm-hmm.
be a woman, and
Mm-hmm.
the sky's the limit. Girls, young women are really rocking the stand-up comedy scene. They are enjoying milking every scene in the situation, every possible thing that you can think of, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody's having a blast. It's not just that only guys are having fun. Girls are having fun too. It's just that you need to go out and look for it. So if you're the kind of person who digs humor, who enjoys all kinds of humor, just click on your YouTube or whatever links, and you will find lots of humor. And women are just as funny as men, so there's nothing to take
Absolutely.
away from us at all.
Fantastic. Nice way of putting it. Now, Purnima, what is middle-age humor? What is that? And how it is different from others? You have
Yes.
found a space, I agree. How is it different from others?
So what I found was that mostly there are youngsters in stand-up comedy scene. It's a very young and happening scene, and it's still a pretty nascent stage here in India. However, what I saw was that there are only maybe a handful or less who are talking humor, midlife humor, where you're talking jokes on the family, on routine family life. And I was pretty late to get into the scene in my late 40s. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm a late bloomer. And I realized that where is the aam aurat? Aam आदमी party कर रहा है. But where is the आम औरत? See, आम औरत भी party करती है. So आम औरत does not have to be always about आम पन्ना, आम मुरब्बा, आम अचार. We are rocking the scene too. And as I like to call myself, I'm an amateur. Where is the amma in this whole thing? So we women, where is the woman ki baat? It's always the man ki baat. Where is the woman here? So we, women here in India, we have a great sense of humor. We know how to deal with our families. And women, when we go out with our friends, we go out for kitty parties or just parties, we go out for coffee or a movie. And when we catch up with friends and kind of jokes that we crack, be it on our in-laws, regarding our friends, or our own family, our own parents, So I am talking this kind of humor where I talk generational humor, how being middle-aged, I'm nicely sandwiched, caught between my parents and in-laws on one side and my grown-up daughters on the other. So so I have plenty, and I feel coming from this space, I have a bigger arc. I have a larger graph. I have much more jokes in my kitty than, say, a youngster. A young girl could be talking about, the usual stuff, coffee, dating, relationships.
Love and all that. Yeah.
So
Huh.
I'm talking about how to make the damn coffee in so many ways. I'm talking about all kinds of relationships. I have many more, thanks to being a daughter-in-law, a daughter, a mother, a wife. So I have many more roles and many more hats that I have donned than them. So I feel I should milk this situation, and I have much more, and I have, so this is not a handicap, and I can only milk it further. That's my take.
Wonderful. That's the thing. You have that USP of being doing a middle-aged humor, and then I can't stop laughing when she talks. And can anybody believe Poornima Datta Tuprani is having a grown-up daughters, two grown-up daughters? When she said that, I was like shocked. What is she saying? I really couldn't relate it. How when you do stand-up comedy of middle age and everything, what does your daughter feel about it? Both your daughters, what do they say? Do they say, what is this, ma, or something like that, or they just enjoy it with you? How is it?
Yeah, they thoroughly enjoy it with me. We all have a great sense of humor. We all enjoy comedy. And if something happens outside in their normal, whether it's in college, or my elder one has just started working in her office space, she comes back and she says, "Guess, what happened today?" And then I say, "This could be content for your stand up." And so I said, "Okay, this sounds interesting." So everybody, right from my husband to my parents, everybody's chipping in saying, "This could be content for you." So now even friends, they come in saying that, "Hey, you want to use this as your material?" People, so my daughters are only too happy. They recommend certain shows. They tell me, "Watch this show, you will enjoy this could help for your stand up." So they watch much more, and they consume much more than maybe even I do. So everybody is very supportive, and everybody's enjoying that I'm enjoying. So there is a great network and support.
Very true. Very true. Purnima, I want to ask this. When I put your poster on Koto and then later on I put it even in the live show in FB, the first message I got was in Koto, somebody texted me and they said, why is that, women, stand up comedy, if they do something, content which is related to much more on relationship or sexual or content which is very very how stand-up comedy works. It is very funny and it is very outright there. But when women does it, they're always being judged. Where a man does it, it's being taken in a lighter way, talking about dating, flings, or talking about, mutual, extramarital affairs and something like that. And everybody feels that, oh, it's a man thing. Oh, he's fine. That's fine. But when a woman is talking about it, and this is something which I got from an younger girl, not the girl of, or not a woman of 40s or something like that, but an young girl who is in her mid 20s. She texted that, it's nice, but then I love to do it like Poornima, but I am doubting. She has a self doubt that, she'll be judged. And with the Indian culture, with the Indian thing, do you think that's really true? Are women judged like that?
I don't know if they are judged. I think men are judged too for the kind of content uh, that if you get onto YouTube, even a guy who puts up his videos, he
Mhm.
gets trolled. I mean, there are all kinds of comments. If it is troll
Mhm.
worthy, or if see, there are people who find things offensive no matter what you do. So there are
Got it.
trollers who troll you no matter what you do. So
Mhm.
of course, you got to be ready for everything when you are up there. When you put out your content or you get up on stage there with a mic, you have to be
Mhm.
ready for everything. thing. So if you are scared, or you are going to be, you're scared of being judged, then stand up is not for you. You got to be thick skinned, you got to be indifferent, but yes, your content has to be funny, relevant. Now if you just go out there just to make fun of somebody, there is a certain line that one draws. You do not cross that.
Absolutely.
And I feel, okay, vis-a-vis the guys, maybe they could say a cuss word, and if there is no joke happening, use a cuss word, get the audience laughing, and get back. But that is for each one to decide what is their sense of humor, and eventually you will find your identity. So for me, coming from my background, my age, and my sense of humor, I think what I do is I don't use any cuss words, and I find that my humor should be able to uh, evince the laughter that I want. And it's my jokes, which are very everyday slice of life humor, that should be able to
Mm-hmm.
get the laughs. And if somebody is going to troll me, I got to be ready with a good comeback. So that's what happens when, if somebody does that, you got to take it in your stride. So it isn't easy. You have to start somewhere, and that's when you realize how you need to keep sharpening your craft, and how you get better at it, and not just say things for the sake of it, just to get a
Shake
laugh.
of them.
So
Correct, correct.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
There is the
youngsters are cracking anything and everything under the sun. So when I got into this space, I realized one thing is I need to unlearn a lot of stuff. One thing I've enjoyed is going with the flow. So there's,
uh,
we, especially during the lockdown, we had so many Zoom shows, and I got to see so much of, a variety of humor, right from toilet humor to black humor on death, to, of course, life as families were facing it in the lockdown, all kinds of humor, corporate
true.
humor. So you got to go with the flow. If you're the types who thinks, oh my God, gee, this is not nice, or this is not good, then I don't think it is for you. Then you should just shut your door and sit quietly, or stay by yourself. But if you dig comedy and all kinds of comedy, I think there is no stopping.
Wonderful, wonderful. There was another question which is asked to me that again in the Koto app, that she wants to learn to do stand up comedy, and she's now a mom, and she's settled, and she has ample time to learn, but she doesn't know how to start it and end it. So is that any particular training you do, or are you running any workshops on that? Because people love to learn from people who are experienced in it like you. So they will have, see, everybody, see, they might do in the colleges and then they will leave it. Abhi, we have got married. How women's life is. So, Panchal, after 5 years, again, they realize, oh, they have to do something in life. After the kid is little grown, then they will feel that
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. So that I find not only in stand-up comedy, but everywhere women are like that only. They have their own set of responsibilities. So, do you conduct any such workshops or any such things for women, or are you planning to do?
But I haven't conducted for women, but yes, I have taken an improv stand-up workshop for a bunch of IIT students.
Wow.
Surprise! Yes, I did that. They enjoyed it thoroughly, and I did take a workshop for some youngsters, some teenagers. This happened during the second phase of the lockdown. But however, if
Wow.
women and I've never thought of it, but hey, this is a good idea. If there are women who'd like to sign up and learn, I could teach a few tricks or certain crafts that go
Absolutely. Now it's
behind
a
stand.
digital world. You can do in digital workshops, and they can actually benefit, because many people want to take this as a career, but then they have their own inhibitions, and that, with the experience of you can remove it, and also encourage them to take it forward. Because what happens is they'll have something, but they don't know how to put it. That's what she said. I said you can do it, but then she had that, she doesn't know how to do it, and that's when people like you, I think you should start doing such workshops, and that will really help, and you can take it up. Actually, when in Koto also we have that module of doing workshops. So another question I want to ask you, Poornima, is that, you know uh, when you started little late and then you started to build your thing, is that whoever takes, especially women, when they take up being a taking stand-up comedian or being a stand-up comedy, doing that particular genre, do should they narrow their content or they should do wide? This is something another question was put up. So, what do you think on that? Should they do wider topics or just narrow it like you're doing on middle-age humor, somebody else or something else? So, is that like that?
See, so stand-up comedy is essentially where you talk about your life, what is
Hmm.
happening with you, or your observation to what is happening to the things around you. So, be it politics, current affairs, something happening in the social sphere, something that's very current. Or you take a generic topic, like I could be talking about parenting, marriage, midlife crisis, so corporate humor. So, you either take a generic topic, or it could just be any one incident that happened, maybe say out in the market or in a mall, anything funny. It's just a joke. It's just a string of jokes that you need to, a bunch of jokes that you need to string together. You
Correct.
find and then you create a certain structure. You create a certain structure to that whole thing. So it depends. Are you entertaining people for 15 minutes, for half an hour, for 1 hour? So you need to find your kind of humor, whether it's what kind of humor. So it only happens when you start writing. You start
Huh.
writing and you start doing the small gigs. So you have these open mics, and this is a tip for all the people who are watching, and you have something called open mics. There are open mics in
Mhm.
the metros
Yeah.
today, buzzing, be it
Everywhere.
Bangalore, Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Pune. So
Yeah.
Ahmedabad, there are open mics, so you sign up for it. They give you 4 minutes time. You try out your content. Then you know the crowd, whether they're responding, they're laughing, they're enjoying. And when you hear others do it, then you know where you are going wrong or what you need to work on. That's how I started with open mics. I started with 4 minutes. I gradually moved on to 8, then 15. And today I'm doing solo 1 hour shows. So you need to work on your
So,
content. Only then that you'll find your own voice, your own style, and your own audience. So there's
so
nothing pre.
already Poornima is telling all the tips now. She should tell all this in her workshop rather than telling it here. How?
Okay, I will
So
not.
nice. Please don't reveal it. Let them sign up. Let them pay for that and then learn from you. Because your guru, from guru, you should pay and then only it goes into the head. I always learn this from, from people whom I have learned, whether it is, anything what I'm doing now. If you pay, then only it'll go to your head. So they say Guru Dakshana in South India. We say I don't know what it is called in Hindi, but I think it's the same thing. It's a Sanskrit word. So गुरु दक्षिणा के बिना नहीं हो सकता कोई भी so कुछ भी नहीं सीख सकते हैं बोलते हैं तो yeah I think you should do proper workshops on how people can approach people can all these things, this open mics and all, people might not know. They might think but they might not know how to approach it. It's nice to know all these things. Now coming back to the question of we posted the topic of women in being in a stand-up comedy. So how women are treated in the market, in the whole scenario of being a stand-up comedian. So how is it? How is the whole market of industry of being a stand-up
I think it's not like you leave your job and pursue stand-up comedy as a career. For that,
comedy?
as you all know, you need to be big on social media. You have to be get popular there, or you need to do a lot of live shows, get your audience, and then people will approach you to do a lot of live shows, and that's when the money starts happening. So the market, if you're talking commercial terms, is
Commercial,
you.
yeah.
Yes, you need to work hard at it. It's not easy. You'll have to prove to the crowd that you're equal to some of the best. It doesn't matter what gender. You have to be funny. The
Mm-hmm.
point is you have to be funny. You have to make people laugh. That's it. It
Correct.
doesn't matter whether you are male, female, or anything in between, LGBTQZ,
Yeah.
you have to laugh with your sense of humor. That's it. So that's not to say that it's easy being a woman. No, you of course, like everything else, you have to work harder. You have to keep proving that it's not just this. I'm also cute into politics. Haha, I'm pretty funny in that too. It's not that I'm only cracking jokes on my mother-in-law or my husband or my mother or my children. So
Absolutely.
how I weave it in, I insert politics, I weave it in with my jokes, and so I want to show that yes, I have a whole range. So you have to work at it. So only then you grow your market, and people will be ready to pay and come and watch you. So you have to command that thing, right? For any other product, how do you place yourself? It's all about branding, and then comes your marketing. So where do you see yourself? How do you position yourself? So same thing goes for this.
That's true. That's true. Very true. Very true, Poornima. Nice to know all these things from you because you're already into it. And now, when coming back to you're also into filmmaking. Now, how did this happen? And how what is the banner in which your work of your production is, and how what are the future plans with it? What is that scene altogether?
I basically, my husband and I, we have our own production house. So that's been our main thing since years now. We made
Hmm.
seven films, and just before the lockdown, we made our first Hindi feature film, and we're working on our project. Uh, that's an aside. Uh, so that's what we've always been working at. And just before lockdown, luckily, I just thought I always had this thing for comedy, and I was watching a lot of stand-up comedy. That's when I realized I need to do some. I want to do it too. It was on my bucket list, and my mother-in-law was paralyzed for 2 years, and then she expired beginning of 2019, and that's was when I was feeling, what do I do to get out of this? All of us are eventually going
Wow.
to. Yes. So it hit me then when I saw her suffer and then pass away. It's what I want to do to, something that I can do for myself without having to depend on anybody else. I didn't want any kind of business, and stand up was very much on my list. And I said I should give it a shot, and uh, that's when I got into stand-up comedy, and it's not been easy. I had bombed earlier. A couple of years back, I had tried once. I had bombed so badly. I came down shivering from the stage. I had, as I told you, my first open mic. I got 4 minutes. I came down shivering,
Mhm.
and I swore I'm never going to do this. It's not my cup of tea. But then later, when this happened, I said, no, I have to give it another shot. I went back to my scripting. This time I wrote better, and I went better prepared with my jokes, the whole structure I worked on. And that's how I started.
Fantastic, fantastic. One last question before we end this session today. Purnima, what do you want to tell to all the women out there who are in the middle age, who want to prove themselves to be a superwoman, being a super daughter-in-law, super mother, whatnot, and that superwoman syndrome is catching up with all the women these days. I really don't appreciate it, but that's what is going on. So, what do you have to say to all the middle-aged women who are having this thing called as superwoman to become a superwoman? What do you have to say?
See, you cannot be a superwoman. Let's admit that it's just put on us that, she's great at multitasking. A woman is great at multitasking. It's bullshit. We are not. We are not great. Just like anybody else, we can only do one thing at a time. So if my house behind me right now is a big dump, but you can see only this much, I focus only on this much. You can't see the rest of it. You're not going to carry your house everywhere you go with you. Work on your personality, work on yourself. Nobody is going to give you a Nobel Prize for saying, wow, you kept the best house, or your bathroom was dry throughout the day, or that your kitchen ota was dry and sparkling clean. Nobody cares a damn. Nobody gives a damn. You have to be happy at the end of the day, right? And nobody is going to support you in all your ventures. Don't expect support. Don't think that, oh, the world has to be a kind place. Throw all that WhatsApp gyan out of the window. Be kind, be this, be that, Nobody's going to be kind. It's a ruthless world out there. Dog eat dog world. Bitch eat bitch world. So don't expect, oh, people are waiting for you to nothing. There will be several obstacles. It's not easy. But you want to do it, you do it for your happiness. To hell with the world, to hell with the house and the kitchen or the office. You can only do that much, only that much for people. Not, you have to help yourself. Each one has to help himself. So don't go on guilt trips. Oh no. If you're all that sensitive and delicate, I'm sorry, stand-up comedy is not for you. You got to be thick-skinned. So as I tell a lot of people, इतने साल मैंने टेफलॉन में खाना बना के खिला के खा के मैं टेफलॉन की बन गई हूँ. So nothing sticks. So I tell all the women out there, be thick-skinned, okay? Be like Teflon. हम लोग भी इतने साल किया क्या है? कुछ तो सीखो. So don't you get. So you have to do your thing. You have to fall flat on your face. When you do something, it's not easy. No matter whether it's a business venture, whether it's comedy, anything in the world, whether you're a teacher, of course you're going to goof up. So as a comedian, I'm going to pick up on all those silly things, how we goofed and how we rose. So don't think people are there, it's all this cute thing, be positive, get up, spring out of bed. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. All kind of crazy things happen, but how you survive and survive nicely, therein lies the story. So don't tell women, don't throw your age card also. It doesn't matter what age you are, whether you're 20 or whether you're 60. Everybody's going through same shit in life. Nobody cares about रोना धोना. Don't tell पता ये हो गया वो हो गया पता आज मेरी बाई नहीं आई. Nobody cares a damn how you get your dish washed, whether you eat, you cook yourself or you order. Cry, and you cry alone. Laugh, and the world laughs with you. That should be the motto. So you want to be happy, be happy. Nobody cares about your excuses. So women, just have some fun. Of course, women are having fun. They say, I'm so busy, I'm working also, I come back late, I have to cook dinner, I have to do this. But still, when you meet a friend, she'll say, hey, let's catch up for coffee, na? Do find time. Of course, we're finding time, but just doing, फालतू का रोना धोना, oh, ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है, सब कुछ है. Just enjoy. And don't, that's my mantra. Just enjoy.
Very nice, very nice. And on a lighter note, you said the Teflon thing. Today, the whole day, I'm going to think that. Very nice, Poornima. It's nice talking to you because that's the reality what you have told. There's nothing like multitasking. I've seen people creating communities on that, women are multitasking, moms are, mothers are all these things. Very true. Thank you so much for coming here and sharing all things which, of stand-up comedy. We always had many doubts of, I always had basically that how are they able to perform when they're performing? Will they be judged? They are being judged. So how do they think in their mind? All these things. When I used to feel when I see all this women stand-up comedians alone. So nice to know you. Nice to talk to you. And thank you for coming. And it was a wonderful show. Take care.
Thank you so much, Jyoti. Wonderful being with you. Thank you.
Thank you.